Hello everyone, welcome to organolysis. So welcome to another video of the name reaction series. Now this is our one of the most important organometallic based reaction. This is called Succintost alylation reactions. So this is a part of the organometallic based or coupling based type of reactions. So from the name you can easily identify that this reaction is kind of alylation reaction and an allylic compound that you want to get after these reactions. Okay, so first of all, the basic things of this Succintost alylation reaction is in the year of 1965 Suji first demonstrated the pi-allyl palladium chloride could be used or could be substituted by using a nucleophile, and they are kind of different types of anions which can be derived from the diethyl malonate or ethyl acetate. And after that, in the year of 1973, then scientist called B.M. Trost, he also reported this another version of the pi-allyl palladium type of complexes. So this is what it is, the Succintost alylation reaction. Now first of all, the basic things of this reaction is that if you have a compound like this, so I have missed it over here, there is a one more CH2 unit here. Okay, so if you have this allyl compound like this CH2X over here, so if you have this type of compound and if you put it into the palladium 0 or palladium 2 complexes in presence, it can be used in presence of base or it can be used in the presence of neutral conditions. So both conditions can be applied to do this pi-allyl type of complexes. So you can see over here you are getting an pi-allyl palladium complex. So this is called the pi-allyl palladium complex, right? So this is your pi-allyl palladium complexes, and after that, if you are using any nucleophilic hydrogen or if you have any nucleophilic hydrogen or if you have any nucleophile, so it can directly attack on this position and you are getting the substituted product. You can see over here if you have the X. Now your X may be any kinds of halides or any kinds of OAC or OCO2R, these types of things. Okay, so X can be your any kinds of halogens over here. So this is X is basically your leaving group actually. So X is your leaving group, and if you put it into this if you put it in this palladium 0 complexes and nucleophilic and all, and you are getting an substituted product, that is substituted product over here you can get. Now the interesting thing is that the stereochemistry and how can you determine this overall regioselectivity or stereoselectivity of these reactions. Now this reaction is in case of hard nucleophiles. Hard nucleophiles is basically the, you can see over here, the hard nucleophiles, hard Nu minus, is basically your alkyl, lithium or any kinds of alkyl, magnesium. So this is your hard nucleophile. If you use it in case of hard nucleophile, then you can get an inversion of configuration product, and if you put it in the soft nucleophile such that any like this soft Nu minus is like this your OPH sorry, not OPH actually, CH2, any kinds of active methylene group if you have. So this type of thing, that is if you have CH minus, sorry, this is CH minus and CN whole 2, or any kind of, if you have the CO2R and NO2. So this is all types of soft nucleophilic type of compound. So if you put it in the soft nucleophilic type of compound, then you are getting a retention of configuration of this overall product. So this reaction depends on the rate of the leaving group also. So the rate of the leaving group is basically like this way. So Cl is much more favorable to leave from the system. So then comes CO2R, and then comes OAC, and then less is the OH. So this is somewhat the trend of the leaving group from this reaction, right? So this is called the overall Succintost alylation reaction. You can see over here the alylation will be takes place from the final product. If you have this type of compound, now this is quite important for the your stereoselectivity and regioselectivity as well. So the stereoselectivity you can see over here, if you put in palladium complex and X is your any kind of leaving group, and if you put it in the soft nucleophile, you can get retention and configuration of the nucleophilic center, or if the nucleophile which is attacked over here. And finally, if you put the hard nucleophile, then you can get the inversion of configuration of this position, because its X is in above the plane and the nucleophile is in below the plane. So that is what it is. Now let's see the mechanism. That is quite important for this reaction, because this is new to you, that is the pi allyl palladium complex. Now what is like that, how this pi allyl palladium complex will be formed, I will show you here. Now let's see the mechanism. Now we know that the palladium 0, then we can, or you can use the palladium 2 precatalytic. So we have to reduce this palladium 2 to palladium 0. So now we are starting with this Ln palladium 0. Okay. Now if you put it into this this kind of allyl complex, if we use in it, that if we are using this R1 double bond CH2X like this. So this, the first step is the coordination. Now coordination means this double bond, this pi bond will attach with this palladium first. So this is the first step that we are going to get over here, is this one, that is this palladium is attached with this. Now this is in palladium 0 state, right? Now after that, the next step is the oxidative addition. Now the oxidative addition, we know that the oxidation state is going to be increased from 0 to +2, so that after this next step it is the oxidative addition, right? So after the oxidative addition, how this oxidative addition will be takes place, that this X group is now attached with the palladium, and this pi allyl complex is finally attached with these 3 bonds, right? So that is how we can get this pi allyl palladium complex. Now I will be like this, I'm writing it over here. This is how you get, that is this one. Now you can get this palladium. Now here is your L or Ln, any kind of things over here, and this X is now attached with the palladium, and this palladium is now bonded with these 3 carbon atom. So this is what it is, the overall oxidative addition step. Now after that, there is another possibility of this oxidative addition, is that there is a first ligand exchange is going to be takes place, because you are using any kind of ligand. The ligand is basically UPPH3 dibenzyl acetone, or any kinds of ligands you can use over here. So the first is that, see, the ligand exchange is very rapid. So this ligand exchange is going to be takes place over here, that this X group will leave from the system, and you are going to get another. So this is your palladium 2, and here is also your palladium 2. So this is your ligand exchange step. So this is your ligand exchange step, right? Now after this step, the nucleophile will attack over here, and you are going to get the final product. And this is, we know that palladium is basically use its catalytic cycle. So to follow this rule, we have to do this one. That is the first step. Next step is the nucleophilic addition. So this NuC minus will attack over here. And why this nucleophile will attack over here? It is basically regiospecific or regiospecific, because this is quite hindered and this is quite free. So that is why this nucleophile will attack over here, not over here. So finally we can get this R1, this bond, and this nucleophile attack over here. So we are going to get this NuC over here, and now this palladium is also attached with this compound. So this is your pi allyl palladium. So this is your pi allyl palladium complexes, and this palladium is now attached with this palladium 0 Ln, and finally after this reductive elimination, and you will get, so this is what it is, the overall reaction, and finally this palladium will remove from the system, and you are going to get the final product like this. Okay, so this is your final product. But this step is quite important, because here is the first, the substitution will be takes place, then the reductive elimination will be takes place. So the first step is the substitution, because this nucleophile will attack over here, and after this palladium 0 will leave from the system. So this is what it is, the overall mechanism for this reaction. Now one more thing is that the what is the case of the soft nucleophile or hard nucleophile. Now this is quite important, because here you can see over here this X is quite specific, because this R1, this R2, and here is your X. Now this X is your above the plane. So, and one more condition is needed, that is this R1 group is quite bulkier than R2. So if you have this group, so first step is the oxidative addition. So first step oxidative addition is palladium 0 will attach with this pi bond. So after that you are going to get this one. This is your oxidative addition step. So this is a palladium, and here is your Ln or any X over here, and this is your R2. Now the more important thing is that if you see over here that this bond is above the plane, so this palladium we should attach from this pi bond, attach with the pi bond from the below the plane, because X group is top phase, so this palladium will attach from the below the plane. Now if we use hard nucleophile, now hard nucleophile is the alkyl lithium or alkyl magnesium. Now this hard nucleophile first transmetallate with this palladium, and then retention, and then the reductive elimination. So if we are using the hard nucleophile, now the first step is the transmetallation. Now transmetallation is basically if you are using RLI, so this RLI is LIX from leave from the system, and this R group actually your nucleophile. So this R group is your nucleophile, and this Li is first transmetallate with this palladium, and LIX leave from the system, and this R group is now attached from the palladium. Now if we are write in this way, that is your R2, and this R, we can write this R equal to nucleophile, right? This R group is basically any kind of alkyl group. So this is lithium X, that means LIX leave from the system, and this group is below the plane. Here is your ligand, and here is your nucleophile, which attached with the palladium, and palladium is now 2 from 0 to 2, that because this is the oxidative addition process. Now this nucleophile directly attack over here, because R1 is quite bulkier than R2. This attack from here, you can see over here this group is below the plane, so that is why this nucleophile also attack from the below the plane, because this palladium group controls these reactions, and after that finally you are going to get this product, that is nucleophile, and here is your R2, not in the above the plane. You are going to get this nucleophile from the below the plane, and here is your pi bond like this. So this is all about the case of hard nucleophile. And so first step is the transmetallation, and the next step is the retention of the configuration or reductive elimination, the final step. In case of soft nucleophile, so what about the soft nucleophile? Now the soft nucleophile is basically the substitution, it first inverted, and then another inversion, you are going to get this same kind of product like this. But what about this one? So this is your common intermediate for both the cases. Now if you use the soft nucleophile, so this nucleophile directly attack over here, and this leave from the system. So first step is the inversion, and the another step is another inversion. So double inversion gives the retention of configuration of the product. So we are going to get this one, that is NuC. So no, this kind of transmetallation steps occur in the soft nucleophile cases, so that is why you are going to get this product as a major one, right? So let's see some examples that is quite important, and I hope this will clear you to understand you more that how we can predict the product and how we can do this overall Suji-Trost reactions. So if you have this group over here, and you can see over here this Na plus is given and CH minus. Now this negative is quite stable because 2 electron withdrawing group is attached with this nucleophile. So palladium is given to you, so it will first attack with this one. So the final product that we are going to get, so this side is quite bulkier, and here is your 2 CH2 units, so this side is quite free to attack for this nucleophile. So we are going to get this one, that is cyanide and CO2Me, and this is your major product from this reaction. Now next thing is that if you have this group, now what about these cases? Now how we can do this reaction? Now this reaction is basically, you can write this O C double bond O OAT, we can write in this way. So it will first attach with the palladium. So first step is like this, we can write this double bond. So you can write this group in this way. So this is now palladium is attached with this, so here due to ligand we can write these two ligand in this way. So OAT minus is free from the system. Now this OET actually, right, OET minus is free from the system, and the nucleophilic hydrogen is given, so NaO minus. So this hydrogen is quite nucleophilic, so I am writing over here this group like this, NO2 and CO2ET. Okay, so the next thing is that this OCOET is like this, that is first this step is like CO2 will leave from the system. Okay, so now how this CO2 will leave? Now this CO2 will leave from the system and this negative charge attacks over here, and finally you are going to get this product. Now from here we can get this group. Now this is your palladium, here is your L, and here is your nucleophile. The nucleophile is like this, NO2 CO2 here is your minus. Okay, so this OET minus takes a proton. So you can see over here that no base is needed to do this reaction, only this OET minus takes a proton from here, and you are going to get this negative charge, and finally the product that you get from here, there is a CH2, there is your NO2, and here is your CO2 So this is your major product from this reaction, right? Let's see some another example for this reaction is the Strougie-Trost reaction. Is that if you have this type of compound, and you can see over here this is your negative charge and this palladium is also given. Now this part, this OPO, it is quite good leaving group than this OAC, so it will first remove from the system. So from that purpose we are going to get this reaction. You can see this palladium is given along with this dimethylamine is also given to you. So the first step is this one, that is this group will attach like this. You can see over here this CO2 ET, and here is your CO2 ET like this. But this Me2NH is quite nucleophilic, so that is why we cannot isolate this product as a major one. So this Me2NH also replace this group, and finally the product that we get from here is this one, that is Me2N double bond CO2 ET and CO2 ET. So this is your major product from this reaction, from this overall reaction, right? So that is why we cannot isolate this one, we can isolate this one as a major product. Now let's see another example, and you can see the main role of the double inversion over here. So you can see that this double bond and OAC is also given to you, and palladium is also given over here. So let's see that. Now first we know that this palladium is now attached with this to form the pyrrole palladium complex. This OAC will leave from the system. So first the OAC minus will leave from the system. So this is first step is the inversion. So this step is the inversion step, because palladium is at this group is above the plane, so palladium is now attached with this group from the below the plane. So this is your below the plane, we can write in this way, and this is your CO2Me. Okay, so this is your CO2Me. Now the next thing is that the nucleophile which will attack over here. So the nucleophile is this one. You can see the CH2, this is quite active methylene group. So this CH2 minus and CH minus, sorry, CO2Me whole 2. Now this will also attack from here. So this is not the case of transmetallation. So it will undergo this also another kinds of inversion. So it will attack over here. So this is another inversion step. Now this group is below the plane, so if this group attack from the to do this inversion, so it has to be attacked from the above the plane. So finally the product that we get, that is the retention of configurations like CO2Me, and along with this CO2Me over here, and here is a double bond. So this is all about the case of double inversion. So the first step is the double inversion, this is another inversion, and finally you are going to get this retention of configuration of the product. Now let's see this example. The last example of this reaction is that if you have this type of compound, and now this is we can easily predict this type. This is a type of Strougie-Trost reaction, so Strougie-Trost alylation. Now the first step is that here is your active methylene group over here, and this OPH also can be act as a leaving group, so it will leave from the system, and it can be go and like this, and it will attack from the palladium. So similarly we can get a 5-membered ring over here. So this is your 5-membered ring over here, and here is your CO. We can write this C double bond O and OMe. This is your CO2Me, and here is your NC5H11 like this, and this is one, right? So this is your product from this reaction. Now you can see over here there is a given to you NaI HMPA, that is hexamethylphosphoramide, and heat. Now this is a type of decarboxylation reaction. This Heavy minus attack over here, these bonds can go over here and this can go like this. So this is your decarboxylation step. This CO2 will leave from the system and MEI also leave from the system. So the product that we get from here is this one, NC5H11 along with this one. Now the next step is that the NBBN is given to you and along with the CrO3 and CH2N2. Now we know the NBBN is a hydroborating agent, so this boron will attach from the less hindered position, and after that the CrO3 is given, so it is an oxidizing agent. So this is quite strong oxidizing agent, that is why we cannot isolate this from the alcohol product. We are going to get the acid from this reaction, so we cannot isolate the product from the in the alcohol step. So that is what it is, C5H11, and this is what it is, C double bond OH, right? This is your product from this reaction, and after that, so this is your first two steps. The next step is the CH2N2. So this a negative charge, this it will attack over here and this N2 will leave from the system. So finally the product that we get from here is this one, right? NC5H11 and this CO2 Me. So this is your major product from this reaction. So see this how simple and how important this reaction was, but the important thing is that the the double inversion and retention of configuration, that is what quite important, because this reaction is the digioselective and stereoselective as well. So I hope this I have covered all those topics related to the Suji-Trost reaction. If you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section and I will definitely try to answer all those questions. Make sure that you subscribe this channel and press the bell icon to get the earlier notification, right? So that's it for this video, and thank you so much for watching.